Right. Hi, everyone. April and Scott with Naughty Gym, and we are here again with Cara from Push Fitness, our resident pelvic floor specialist. And we're going to be talking today just briefly. We are hosting a pelvic floor health seminar or webinar. It's going to be online for anyone who wants to attend, Naughty Gym members or non-members also. And we'll give all the details for that. But Cara's going to be hosting this, and she has some amazing information about pelvic floor health and how to increase your pelvic floor health and all the whys and whats and hows for us. So welcome, Cara.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first I want to get into, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep this super brief. Why should people attend this webinar?
Well, because the pelvic floor is such an integral part of your entire body. So we think of it in terms of sort of like a pregnant or postpartum issue, but it really affects all of your body's movements. And so if you like to work out or you like to have sex, which sometimes they're both kind of intermingled, this is a workshop that you should definitely attend.
Okay. What can people expect when they attend this?
So we're going to do all of the ins and outs, as it were, of the pelvic floor anatomy and talk about how it actually functions in your body. And then we're going to start working on some breathing mechanics because the breath is a really good way to access the pelvic floor. And then we're going to talk about it specifically for like how it can increase your pleasure and your sex life. And then we're also going to be talking about how we can use it in the main lifts in the gym. So we can actually go through squats and deadlifts and presses and access the pelvic floor in all of those main lifts.
Okay. So is this something they can do from their living room? Do they need to be at their gym or a little of both?
Yeah, so it can really be done either. If you're at the gym, you can challenge the weight a little bit more to sort of see where some of those limits are. But you can also practice in your living room, at home, just to sort of do the movements and then later integrate it into a gym setting.
Perfect.
All right. I have a question. It's a two-parter.
Yes,
One, first part, do men have a pelvic floor?
absolutely. Everybody has a pelvic floor, and your pelvic floor is one of the really key parts in getting an erection.
Okay. Part two, is it have anything to do with getting an erection?
I got it. Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so this is
I'm
for men. This is for men too.
Yes, it's absolutely for men. The pelvic floor is one of the ways that we can sort of non-chemically treat ED, and I'm not saying that works for everyone. And I am not a doctor or a pelvic floor physical therapist. I'm a trainer who has a passion for pelvic floor health. However, it does make a big difference if you can learn to access that when it comes to ED and getting erections. It also helps with like premature ejaculation and things like that as well.
That's good to know. So this is for men and women. So it can help a man's orgasm, his erection, and also women. It can help their orgasm as well.
Absolutely. So, when the pelvic floor is functioning well, we can get more blood flow to the areas that give us pleasure. It is right in that spot where we do have all of those nerve endings and things. So, when the pelvic floor functions better, our orgasms are better. We have a tendency to have less painful sex. Like if you have a history of painful sex, it can improve those symptoms as well. And so, yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to have dysfunction in your pelvic floor to attend this webinar, because this can just take your orgasm to a whole nother level.
Yes, absolutely. So you don't have to have leaking when you sneeze or when you lift weights, but it can still be a really great way to improve your sexual function and your lifts because it really helps. Anytime you move any part of your body, your pelvic floor should be involved.
Right.
So you can get stronger in the gym if that's your goal too.
Yeah. So, on a personal level, I have been lifting for over 20 years. I have also had children for over 20 years. And so I assumed, and we covered this a little bit on the last podcast, that peeing when you lifted really heavy was just a normal thing. I just kind of accepted that was
Yeah.
normalcy. I talked to other women in the gym. They peed on themselves too. It was just a normal, commonplace thing. And then when I talked to you, I learned that's not normal. And so I am super excited to get my pelvic floor in a shape where that doesn't happen anymore.
I'm so excited for you too, April, because one of in like the pelvic floor world is that leaking is common, but it's not normal. It's a sign that your body isn't functioning optimally, right? And one of the things I actually love, especially with the CrossFit world, is that normalization of the leaking. And I'm going to explain that because I just said it's a dysfunction, but I love that it sort of strips away the shame of your body doing body things, right? Like I love that aspect of it. But then the pelvic floor expert in me, when I see that, says, ooh, but like that could be causing like injuries down the line because the pelvic floor should function when we're lifting to support us. If we do have a leak in pressure, then we're having accessory muscles working for prime movers.
Yeah.
And over time, what we know is that then we get like knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, hip pain, things like that. Even some jaw pain has been linked to pelvic floor dysfunction. So, right. So it's just so like full body. And so I'm just excited to see like all the ways that this can go for you.
Me too.
One final question from me. Is there any chance that if I improve my pelvic floor function, that I will be able to pick up more chicks?
I mean, so if you combine this workshop with your pickleballing,
Ah,
absolutely. I mean, we
Now there is a combination.
if I go up to a woman at a party and say, "Look, I play pickleball and my pelvic floor is rocking," I don't know how they turn that down. Really,
I mean,
It's difficult.
so, I would
It's difficult.
that's a guaranteed winner right
yeah.
there.
Well, I am so excited to be able to offer this to our Naughty Gym members for free. And then anybody really, everybody will benefit from this webinar. And so this is going to be, we're going to have this November 9th. That's a Thursday night. We're going to do this. It's 4 p.m. I call it Cara time, but it's actually is that mountain time?
Specific.
Pacific. So 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can sign up. If you can't be there physically, we will record it and then we can send you the recording after you've registered. But we're going to include a registration link in the notes. And you can reach out to myself or Cara at Push Fitness if you have any questions. And Cara, give us an email where people can reach out to you.
Yes. So it's info@thepushfitness.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I am so excited about this. And we're going to do our best to get the word out to get as many people there as possible to benefit from this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's such a privilege and an honor to be working with you and getting more information out to this community. I'm really excited.
All right. We will talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay.